You ever wonder how you can keep a happy face all the time? Well, it's easy. Ask me how, because I'm about to tell you how. All you have to do is to just stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, and be like, you know what? You are very dangerous and you're about to do the most amazing things ever. This is the day for you, you know. That way you keep up a positive spirit, you know, you kickstart off the day positively, you know what I'm saying? So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Complacency Learning. As always, I'm your host, Nico Chivase. And on today's episode, we have nothing but the best news for you. You know, we have great information that we need to actually, you know, move forward, and that we need to actually help our children, you know, make informed career decisions. Because I mean, at the end of the day, this is what the show is about. You know, we actually source people from different career fields. I'm talking about not just any people, but the legends. You know, people that have been in the field long enough to actually, you know, share with us the experiences, so that we can also better prepare for the careers that the same careers as the ones that they're in. So without wasting time, I'm going to go ahead and introduce today's guest. On today's episode, we're joined by a very interesting character who is an experienced internal auditor, and his name is Mr. Maahlamela Frans Mofomadi, and he's here to share with us about how to keep moving forward, you know, what to actually look out for when you better prepare for the career, the career that, like the one that is in, or other careers as well, you know. So ladies and gentlemen, as always, I always advise you to go grab some popcorns, because that is the best way you can enjoy the episode, you know, and just receive this piece of knowledge, you know, piece of information with a great heart, you know. So without wasting time, I'm gonna welcome Mr. Maahlamela to the show, you know, and hope you're gonna have fun and you enjoy. Sit tight. Hi, Maahlamela. Welcome to another amazing episode of Complacency Learning. How are you doing today?
Hey, afternoon, Divo. I'm fine. Just what we are experiencing in South Africa, I don't believe anyone can be fine with the situation, but I'm fine.
I think with everything that's going on, we can all be happy that we're still above the ground, you know. Because I mean, it's an amazing day that you spend above the ground, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I would like to actually ask you to tell us about yourself. Who is Maahlamela, and what does he do for a living, and why is he here to share with us, and what is he here actually what is he here to share with us, if I may ask?
Yeah. Maahlamela Mofomadi is a certified internal auditor. So I will just like maybe to give experience to students who wants to be internal auditors, or everyone who would like to know a bit more about internal audit profession.
That's actually amazing. I'm actually happy to hear you say that, because I mean, at the end of the day, that is what we aim to do, you know. So now going to the first question, I understand that, you know, for you to be where you are, like, I mean, to be an experienced internal auditor, it was not something that happened overnight. It's something that you had to go. Actually, there was a process that you had to go through for you to be where you are, and going through that process, I'm sure now there's things that you wish you had known, that you only figured out once you were in the profession, because those are the things that you feel like if you had known before, maybe you could have been far much further than where you are today, right? So if I may ask you, what are the things that you wish you had known before you began your career as an experienced internal auditor?
As an internal auditor, you must be prepared to be a student for all your life, because you move into spaces where you don't even understand the process. But before you audit, you must understand that process first. So for everyone who wants to be an internal audit, they need to know that they will be reading every day all their lives to understand different processes.
And I believe that also, reading is something that's very beneficial. I mean, when we read, we acquire information, and that information is the one that helps us, keep up with this ever-changing world. So now going to the next question, if I may ask, right? Like in becoming the person you are today, there were failures along the way. And judging from where you stand right now, I can say that you actually allowed for those failures to help you become the person that you are today. Because other than that, if you had let them break you, then you wouldn't have gotten the strength to carry on and keep moving forward. Right. So if I may ask you, what are the biggest failure that you've encountered along the way, and what did you learn from them?
Mm, I can say the failures that I had in my profession was maybe along the way I was impatient. Like when some processes were not happening, I will just be impatient and maybe, uh, what can I say, lose focus on things that I need to do to better myself as an internal audit. But luckily, I lost focus, then came back along the way. So it's those things where 1 year you are just not doing anything. Then you realize as time goes that no, here I'm no longer on the track or on the goals that you set for yourself. Then, and the other thing, if you associate yourself with the people who influence you or the people who can challenge you, then you will be able to not lose focus forever and ever. They will bring you back somehow when you see their achievement.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you on that one because I've also heard Les Brown. I don't know if you've heard of Leslie Brown, like one of the greatest
Yeah.
motivational speakers. Right. So
Yeah.
he did say that birds of the feathers flock together. So I'm saying this to support what you just said, that people that you hang
Yeah.
out with, the circle that you keep is the one that actually influence you, and it can actually help you, like you said, you can lose focus without realizing that you're losing focus. And they're the ones that help you
Correct.
regain that focus, right? So now, which brings me to this question. So to the people that would like to pursue the same career as the one that you are in, right? So what advice can you give them?
Mm, I will just explain how I found myself in this career. So I left home from Polokwane to Pretoria. My Actually, I came here to study law at the University of Pretoria. So when I got there, there was no space for law. So on my way out, I saw a board saying they have space for become internal audit. I didn't even know what that is. I just walked directed by those arrows to where we get the information about internal audit. So the important thing for students who are still in matric is that they need to make sure that they have good marks. Like if you have good marks, it's easy to have different options if the other one doesn't work for you. So when I got there, I gave them my statement. They admitted me on internal audit. Then from there, I just fell in love with the content of becoming internal auditing. From there, after after completing your studies, you do your articles. Then from your articles, after training, you do your board exams. So the other thing with most internal auditors, they fail board exams and most of them quit. So I will advise the one that are about to do their articles to start writing board exams from their second year upwards, not to wait until they have a lot of experience. Because sometimes when you have a lot of experience, you think you know, only to find that you don't know. Because when you write the exam, the result will show that you are misinterpreting some other things. So it's easier when you are still young than when you have 20 years experience, because yeah, I can say it's easier to complete your board exams, which will give you more opportunities. You can work everywhere in the world, especially now because you don't even have to travel there. You can be an internal auditor while you are sitting at home. You'll find that you are working for a company in US and you are in Polokwane.
So I have to say, just based on what you just said now, it's a very great piece of advice. I mean, because at the end of the day, it enlightens those that would like to go down the same way, to actually be better prepared, like build an ark before it starts to rain, So,
That's true.
Earlier on, you did mention that the circle of people you keep is very important, right? So, which brings me to this question: in becoming the person you are today, obviously there's people that have inspired you, there's people that have influenced you. So, if I may ask, what are the 3 people that have influenced you the most?
The first one was my neighbor from home. His name is Leslie Nkwana. He just took me from the street there at home to say, let's go to university. I didn't believe him when he said that. But when I got here, I saw he made everything possible for me to study.
Wow.
So the second one will be Thabo Matlangu, which I met at University of Pretoria. So at some stage when I think we were in financial management course where they needed us to have a financial calculator, which was costing somewhere around 600, and it was a lot of money for for some of us. So I was so frustrated, but he was not, even though he didn't have that calculate. I asked him, why are you not frustrated? Because they want this calculator tomorrow and there is no way I will have 600. So he said, no, we will create our own formulas. And we did. We created our own formulas using the basic calculator. Even though it took us long, but we managed to pass the course.
So you were like, hey, there's too many ways to kill a cat. Just because we don't have it doesn't mean that we have to walk in, clueless. So we can make our own calculator on the side.
Yeah, we had to use. Hey, we have to use extra formulas to get to the answer.
Yeah.
Because the financial calculator will make your life easier. So for us, because our calculator didn't have that function, we had to sit down to say, how can we make it so that we can be able to sit for exam with the same calculator that doesn't have the required functions.
I'm sure that even those formulas, they even helped you understand the calculators even better, how they operate, what's really going on as you put stuff.
Now, I think that built us. Now, as we speak, Thabo is creating formulas for one of the biggest bank.
Wow.
So I think it really worked. Yeah.
That's amazing. And is there like a third person or the two?
Aisha, the other one, it's my late brother who helped me from,
So may he so rest in peace.
Sure.
So yeah, well, I'm so happy to hear how people have influenced you. I mean, wow, it's so amazing to see people willing to do such things for others, because at the end of the day in Zulu they say "Izandla zakesana," So I believe that them being there, they were there for a reason, and you were also part of their lives for a reason, because I mean you were destined for to be where you are. They say what's meant for you, nobody can take it away from you. You know what I mean? Right. So,
Yeah.
right. So, in becoming the person that you are today, there's resources that you've consulted, maybe be it like the internet, the books. Well, I do believe that some of the resources were the people, as you've mentioned them now. So, if I may ask you, what are the other resources that have best helped you along the way?
I think it starts from the content you listen to.
Mm,
Most of I normally like spend most of my time listening to radio and then just reading, but I noticed that most of the youth now they spend a lot of time on Facebook reading gossip.
mm,
But if they can take that time and read books, not those things they read on Facebook about other people.
mm,
So if
mm,
they read, like if they watch videos on YouTube about what they are interested in, like if you are into robotics, you can go
mm,
to YouTube. There is
mm,
Udemy as well. You can do a course on Udemy. There are
mm,
free courses where you can learn stuff. These days, actually, I won't say you don't have to go to university, but if you are not able to, there are different channels where you can equip yourself.
mm, mm. No, I agree with you on that one because I mean, I myself, I spend too much time on the internet educating myself, because I believe that also that knowledge that you get is free and also those free courses. Well, actually, you just brought something to me that I was not really much aware of, which is the Udemy. So, if you don't mind, can I ask you, what is it about? Like, what kind of courses
On
do you get?
Udemy,
Mm,
on
sorry.
Udemy, you can find
Mm,
everything you can think of. You
mm,
can learn, you can learn everything from like playing a guitar,
mm.
like everything.
Excuse me. Mm,
Everything about business is there.
mm,
Cooking, like everything. Even you can learn a different kind of music, like your DJing program. You can do law, you can do everything from there. Supply
mm,
chain,
mm, mm.
even programming, I think. Yeah, everything is there.
Wow. Well, I should check it out, eh? And I'm gonna also encourage
Yeah,
other
no.
people to check it out as well, because I mean, from what you said to us now, it really sounds like a great platform to go to, in terms of learning. Right. So, well, now I know that when we look into different careers, right, people do say different things, right? So I always use the one of education because I mean I'm in the education field and I really love education and I enjoy it. So now what they say about education is that like looking in terms of teachers, they would say that teachers work less hours compared to other professions, and I don't believe it's true. I mean, I experience it myself. I spend time marking. I spend time, preparing the lesson. How am I
Yeah.
gonna best deliver the lesson to the learner so that they understand me? Because I mean, if I just go and explain something without me having to prepare, chances are they won't even understand it, which means that we just wasted time, right? So the way we work, you would swear that we don't have a life, right? So looking at the one that you're
Yeah.
in as an experienced internal auditor, right? So what is the biggest myth about your profession that you would like to actually expose the falseness of?
Yeah, when you are an auditor and you walk in at the company where you are going to audit, no
Mm,
one will feel comfortable around you. They
mm.
they they think you are a police officer, like that kind of a mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, of which is not true because as an auditor, you come in, you analyze their controls, you identify their weaknesses, then you recommend more control to mitigate the weaknesses or risks that you identified. You are not there to arrest anyone or to do something that they are even thinking of.
So it's just
Yeah, but you as an auditor, you obviously you will have to know that no one will like you. If they like you, it means you are not doing your work.
You just there to put a smile on their face.
Yeah, because you must be prepared to have those what can I say, tough conversations with someone who is an expert in their field, and you are not. Sometimes you are not.
I'm sure most of the time you feel like people are talking about you and how so uptight you are. You know, when you're working there, like you said, as you said, that people are like, you'd say they're looking at a police officer when they see an internal auditor. You know.
Yeah, but
So,
we are as time goes on, you get used to. You get used to. As long as you do your work, you have facts to back up your recommendation.
You know. Well, so I've tried to actually ask the best questions as possible. So which brings me to my next question, right? So if you were to step into my shoes, what is it that you would ask yourself that I did not?
I think you did your best. I can just add by saying what will make a best internal audit, something like that.
Yes, that's a very great
So
question.
So my answer will be someone with a good listening skill, someone who likes reading, because you will have to read a lot before you can even set up meetings, because you don't want to be in a meeting where you don't know what you are talking about. So you must be someone who enjoys learning different things, because you'll find that this month you are auditing an aviation company. Their processes are different to maybe a mining company. So you need to be able to adapt quick to different environment, because different environment have different terms, have different thinking. You need just to be someone who can easily adapt to different situation. Also be able to handle different difficult clients, because people in nature, they are defensive. When you come to me and tell me that I'm doing something wrong and I've been doing it for 15 years, I'm not gonna just accept it. So you must be able to deal with difficult people.
Yeah, that's a very great piece of advice, I must say. And also, like, for somebody wanting to be pursue the same career as the one that you're in, I'm sure like now it's something that they actually need to hear, because I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's beneficial. It actually helps you tread carefully. So now, if I may ask you, so speaking of those that are listening to us, right? So to those that would like to connect with you, where can they do that online actually?
They can just type my name on LinkedIn. Then
And then to those that are listening to our podcast, like, would you mind maybe saying it out? Because to those that are watching, I'm still gonna put it at the bottom of the screen. So just for those that are actually listening, yes.
It's Maahlamela Frans Mofomadi.
Right, Maahlamela Frans
on LinkedIn.
Mofomadi.
Yes, then they will see my picture there and connect.
Awesome. Right. So, well, this is the question that I actually like to close with, right? So it's one of the questions that I actually like because I mean, at the end of the day, I believe that the world is ever changing, and the only way to keep up with it is through learning. So when you learn, you get information, you know what to do. You can be prepared for certain things that you would like to do, right? So and I believe that in doing so, that process, we call it learning, right? And learning is something that I believe it takes determination. It's something that you need to be passionate about, right? So if I may ask you, what does the word learning mean to you?
Yeah, it means everything to me because if it wasn't for the learnings and the skills I acquired, I wasn't gonna be able to do my job. So
Yeah.
learning basically I can say is as basic as drinking water, like
Yeah.
waking up in the morning and having to do your breakfast and all that. So as professionals or internal auditors, the first thing you can do for yourself in the morning, you can read one article, then you can go have your breakfast. So imagine every day all the things you will read about in a year. So it will make you a different person. So just 15 minutes of your time for yourself in the morning, you read your articles. Those who are members of IIA, there is a platform for articles. Or these days you can just Google about the topic you are interested in.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep saying to people that, uh, everything that you're doing, interacting, just walking, there's a lot of things that you're learning. Let's look at a baby, for example. You take a little baby like a newborn, you put up a flame, like, and then what they want to do is they want to touch it, but once they touch and they realize that it's hot, next time you put up the flame, you're going to blow
They
it as
want.
hard as possible. So because of
Yeah.
they realize that it hurts. There's also this advice that I saw from this movie. I think it's the one with the Pumbaa and Timon, what Lion King, Lion King there with the monkey there, telling the son that the father didn't die, the son, the lion,
No,
the
I
yeah.
don't know.
That time when he hit him with a stick, and the next time he hit him, he tried to block it, and it's like, you see, you learned the lesson the first time.
The first time,
Because
yeah.
because realize that the stick, once it lands on you, it's going to hurt you. you know
Yeah.
right. So well, now that we've come to the end of the show, is there anything that, if I may ask, is there anything that maybe you'd like to leave us with, be it maybe an inspiration, a quote, or maybe a message, you know
I can just say to the learners, maybe those ones who are still in their grade 12, to work hard on their marks, especially for mathematics and English. So because now it's difficult to get into university, so you need to at least have good marks so that you can secure a space.
and now looking at those languages, you need like 50% to pass, and then mathematics you need 40% to pass, and then you fail one of them, you must know that there's no moving forward.
You're out.
So the fact that you mentioned that, it's I believe that it's actually great that you mentioned it, because I mean, at the end of the day, people are now aware of it, because they don't seem to take them seriously, some of them. So but now, yes. So Mr. Maahlamela Frans Mofomadi, there's been an honor to have you in today's episode. I know I did mention in the beginning that we live in a very busy world where, like, we hardly get time to actually do the things that we would like to do. Sometimes we have to postpone other things for other things to happen. So I just really want to say thank you for actually coming here to share with us such an inspiring message, and for actually steering us into the right direction. So I do believe that the advice that you've shared with us, and the information as well, that it's something that we are going to take with, and always take within our hearts as we move forward, to better prepare, for the life that we want, and for the careers that lie ahead of us. And with that, I just would like to actually extend my very great appreciations for you to come here.
No, thanks very much.
All right, so thanks a lot, and please do keep safe. We're living in the times where, we cannot even walk on the street without a mask because of this virus, So as
It
hard as it
doesn't
is
want
to
to
breathe,
end.
yeah, so as hard as it is to breathe under those masks, so let's just, follow the safety measures and keep safe. As
No,
the
thanks.
experienced internal auditor, you guys have heard it. You've heard this information. What an amazing information that is shared with us. I do believe that you have actually listened to it word by word, and that it's something that you actually also you needed actually to move forward. And we do believe that, if we're not touching as many souls as possible at a time, we do believe that with those few that we've touched, at least it's something that actually helps us keep moving forward and do as best as and do best in what we do. So ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to connect with Mr. Maahlamela Frans Mofomadi, please do so at the details provided at the bottom of the screen. And in doing so, please remember to like and subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. That means that you do not miss a single episode from us. And ladies and gentlemen, I would just also like to encourage every one of you to continue to keep safe, as hard as it is to breathe under those masks, and as hard as it is to actually keep sanitizing. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us always do it, because at the end of the day, that is how we keep safe, and please stay tuned for the next episodes to come. And always remember that the team Complacency Learning loves you all.